Biology Part 174. Primary tissues of the stem. The primary tissues of a plant belong to three distinct groups, namely epidermal tissues, ground tissues, and vascular tissues. The origins of the particular tissues in the stem and their specialized cell types are summarized. As we can see that each group develops from one of the three primary meristemic tissues produced by the apical meristem. There are molecules of the sugars and the soluble carbohydrates and amino acids that may be dissolved in the cell sap, while insoluble substances including starch, proteins, lipids are stored in the granules, and they provide their droplets in the cytoplasm. Some cells store crystals of inorganic salts such as calcium oxalate. So we'll talk about some of the details of the organic ones. The epidermis. The epidermis is derived from the protoderm. A plant is protected by the single layer of the epidermal cells, which covers its surface in the regions of the potential water loss. The epidermal cells secrete an external cuticle composed of the cutin polymer long chain fatty acids which form a cross-linked network impregnated with waxes. The cuticle reduces water loss and helps to protect plant against mechanical injury and attack by microorganisms like bacteria and fungi. Specialized epidermal cells include gut cells, hair cells, and both of which are described in our tutorial. Cortex. The cortex region is located between the epidermis and the vascular transporting tissues of the stem, while the differentiation ground of the meristem tissue produces cortical cells of several different types. Number one, the parenchyma. Number two is the collenchyma. Number three is the selechyma. We'll discuss all of them in detail. The parenchyma cells are large, thin-walled, and relatively unspecialized. They readily possess the secondary cell walls, and their protoplasms remain alive. Functions of protoderm cells include the photosynthesis, secretion, support, and storage of water and food. Next, we've got the collenchyma. The outer layer of the cortex of a young stem often consists of the cells with the unrevently thickened cells walls. These are the collenchyma cells. They provide support and protection, but at the same time remain flexible enough to allow the growth of the selechyma cells become prolonged as the plant develops. Often possesses the chloroplast and remain living at maturity. Number three, sclerenchyma. The sclerenchyma cells are specialized for sport as differentiation continues. They produce secondary cell wall in which the lignin is deposited. When ignification is complete, the protoplast usually dies. Two types of the sclerenchyma cells are distinguished. Fibers are long cells which extend verticals in the space between other cells, and a process called intrusive growth. The scleroids are the shorter branched cells often found in the covering of the seeds in fruits. There are pith. The pith consists of the large parenchyma cells with the numerous intercellular spaces. In main functions is the food storage. The regions of parenchyma extending between the vascular bundles of the stems are known as pith rays. Primary phloem. Next we talk about the primary phloem.